What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Comment Writers. We're going to talk about Kamen Rider Gotchard, Episode 2. I'm your host, Josh Meek, the Uber Geek, and I'm joined, as always, by my good friend, Toby Tobe. How's it going, Toby?
Just call me Mr. Pumpkin Spice today, buddy.
Did you get spiced out?
We have officially stocked up in this household and got all the pumpkin items from Trader Joe's.
Hell yeah.
The king of the pumpkin fall festival bonanza.
You get it, ready. Girl. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
honey.
PSLs for days.
So there was a period of my life where I resisted the siren song of the pumpkin spice latte. And I was one of those people who were like, oh, this is so stupid. All of these just basic women with their fall vibes and their pumpkin spice lattes. But now, Toby, I realized in my 30 some year age or whatever, this happened a few years ago, I realized I'm basic. I'm as basic as we used to make fun of everyone else for being. And I love pumpkin spice. I love, just give me all the pumpkin things. I want everything to feel like fall vibes. Just make it Halloween time. Give me pumpkin flavored everything, and I'm good to go.
So from my standpoint, I really only like the pumpkin things that are weird still.
Okay.
So I'd rather have like pumpkin soda than like a pumpkin spice latte.
I don't. Maybe I'm a weird one on it because I don't like pumpkin. I wouldn't love a pumpkin pie. Like I would maybe eat one slice at a Thanksgiving, but only if like there weren't better pie options. But I do like pumpkin as a flavor, specifically in drinks. So like that's where it really gets me.
Well, I feel like it's not like it's not a pumpkin flavor that you like then. It's like the clove, nutmeg, something else that's actually like the spices of pumpkin pie spice.
I think you're 100% right. Yeah, I like the spicy nature of it. I like it because it's spicy.
When I think spicy, I think of you for sure.
That's a little pro tip out there. If you ever don't want a kid to share food with you, just tell them it's spicy. They won't eat it.
So pumpkin pie spice is cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, cloves, and allspice, mainly.
Yeah.
Definitely. So you like those flavors?
I think so. And pumpkin is just a byproduct of it. Yeah.
It's the vehicle. It's like the pizza, and then the other stuff's the toppings.
Yeah.
Like you don't need the pizza, you just need the stuff on top of the pizza.
So I went to the grocery store the other day, and I also had a pumpkin spice shopping spree. And we have a supermarket around here where it's like it's a Giant Eagle supermarket, and they have like an in-house brand or something. And so I got two things that I was very excited about. One was coffee creamer, because they do like cold brew coffee in the morning sometimes. So it was pumpkin spice coffee creamer. It's very good. We'll circle back around to that. And the other thing I got was also for coffee. It's basically whipped cream, but made specifically to put on coffee. That is pumpkin spice. It's like,
isn't that just like foam? Isn't that just like foamy coffee creamer then? Or
yeah, but it's a whipped topping that goes on top. You don't really mix it in,
but it melts and dissolves.
Yes,
like it's still functionally probably like milk in whipped form.
It is, yeah, but it doesn't do enough. You have to do the extra creamer in it too.
Oh,
okay. But yeah, so you're not a cold brew person.
So no, because it tastes like burnt coffee, kind of, or like bitter coffee.
Yeah,
extra. And then like the last time I was left to my own devices for a couple days a while ago, and instead of making coffee, I was like, if I get a bottle of cold brew concentrate, whatever, I can just give myself coffee that way for the week and not have to worry about actually making coffee.
Sure.
And then the problem is when I mix it, I don't want iced coffee in the morning. So then I say, do I microwave this or what the fuck am I going to do with this?
Oh, no.
And then I microwaved it and then it tastes funny, but still kind of tastes like coffee. So that was acceptable enough. But then they're like, oh, get all the ice and dump the ice in, pour it over ice. But my freezer or fridge, whatever, it doesn't have an ice maker. And we don't have a bunch of cubes. So I was like, well, I can't fill the glass with ice first either. I don't know what the fuck to do with this stuff. So eventually I just drank it like a bottle of Gatorade and just filled the bottle like half with water and half with the leftover
Okay.
cold brew and
Yeah.
just shook it and like drank it throughout the day. And
That
that was
seems
fine.
reasonable. You've made some wrong turns here. Let me correct you.
It started about 20 years ago.
So one, the concentrate stuff is fine, but it's a little too finicky. Like in the morning, I don't really want to like measure amounts of liquids that much. um,
I just
so
eyeballed it for mine because it was like do
sure,
half and half of whatever you do. So I just aimed for half and half to the best of my abilities.
gotcha. So we just buy like
Gotcha or Gotchard, just double checking.
yeah, Gotchard. We just buy like it just comes in these kind of jugs basically. It's like a Starbucks branded thing or whatever. We tried a few. That one tastes the best. You don't have to mix it, which is nice. So you just like pour it in the glass. It's all good to go. Um, but I will say cold brew. I have strong coffee opinions. I'm um very into to brewing my own coffee and grinding my own beans and stuff with a hand grinder and all that jazz. If I haven't ever mentioned that on the podcast. But the cold brew coffee in the morning is sometimes nice when it's like I don't feel like doing all that work and grinding beans. I just want to pour something into a cup and have it wake me up. Uh, and it's nice when it's hot in the summer and stuff too. But anyway, uh the the cold brew, I don't love the taste of cold brew in general. I feel like cold brew has this like weird oxidation taste to it. But I do like iced coffee. So cold brew is actually brewed cold, and then iced coffee is brewed hot and then just
Dumped over ice or cooled
made
down
cold
or
or
whatever.
exactly, yeah. And they taste different to me. So I think what we have actually what we get actually is a an iced coffee technically.
That's
uh,
better. Because
yeah.
like Starbucks coffee always has a weird burnt taste to me. I'm one of
Well,
those people that are like Starbucks tastes burnt because
yeah.
they overheated or overcook or some bullshit. I forget what it is.
Yeah,
But
I don't want
cold
to be the
brew,
person who comes in and gets uppity about Starbucks because like I like Starbucks still too. But Starbucks uses super dark roast and they definitely burn their coffee. Like that's because like that's what a lot of people just think of when they think coffee is like really dark roast and like burnt bitter taste. So that's just like what they do.
yeah. So like that's the cold brew aftertaste to me is that flavor of like
For
the bad Starbucks.
for
So
sure. Yeah, I can see
so
that.
so it's no good, no bueno.
I like to make people try. So I get like beans and stuff from it from like the local roasteries around here. And when you start getting into that, you get into like light roasts and like they taste like unlike any coffee you would buy at like Walmart or whatever or at the grocery store. And they have these like fruity flavors that sometimes are like off-putting for people, but I like a lot, like almost like fermented fruit.
Okay.
And that's always really fun to like make someone experience for the first time. Like you gotta try this coffee and just see like if they like it or not. Because it's either a thing you love or like you're very off put by it.
If you ever get the chance, try mushroom coffee.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's actually coffee at all. I think it's just a mushroom drink that
Okay.
tastes like coffee, but is super smooth and base with none of like the coffee acid taste.
Interesting.
So if you can, you should try that sometime. And I know we made the jokes with the about neon months ago, but the civet coffee, the Kawo Luwak, whatever it
Oh yeah.
is,
Oh yeah.
like mushroom coffee is like that, where there's no acid. It's just a smooth coffee mouth feel.
Does it taste like mushrooms at all?
Uh, I feel like it smelled like them more than it tasted like them. I
Okay,
only
because
tried it
I'm
once or maybe twice, but
not
I
a
have it in
mushroom fan,
packs.
really.
I have it in packs if you want a pack of mix in mushroom coffee. I will ship it directly to you. Tobesbrews.com.
I mean, I would definitely try it once. I don't know that I would like it, but I would give it a shake and see.
That's all that
Uh
matters.
yeah. Toby, speaking of giving things a fair shake, we've got some emails this week.
That was a pretty good transition because
Thank
I
you.
was just going to stop talking and let you figure out the next move there, and you did a good job.
That is usually what happens. It's just, you just stop you just stop responding and I move on to the next section of our show. Yeah, that's how this works.
It's a silent wink to say, Josh, you can proceed now.
I like to wink loudly. You just hear my eyelids
Like they're
flapping. Vroom, 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 vroom. That's what they sound like. We got a few emails here. Our first email comes in from Shade. Shade has some trivia for us for about Kamen Rider Gotchard. Of course, we are launching into head first. First of all, Shade says, before we get to the trivias, I want to say last time you guys talked about the Phase Zero and Phase One Ride Gimme cards. Toby, I can't escape. I can't escape these cards.
it's almost time.
So last time, so Shade says, they're we talked about how they're not random. Specifically, Toby, you and I talked about how the Phase Zero box is not random.
Yeah,
I got called out in Discord.
We got double hoodwinked because they tricked me into thinking that you were wrong, and this is one of the few times you were right.
Thank you.
There was some miscommunications about the numbers.
Exactly. Yeah, I only knew information about Phase Zero. I didn't know information about Phase One. So Shade is correcting us on that, or providing the information on that. Phase One is mostly random, is what Shade says. Shade thinks that getting a Phase Zero box is a good deal because it guarantees you a full set of Geats Rider cards plus Reiwa Rider cards. Because you get the whole Phase Zero set there. Anyway, on to the trivias. So, first up is Kamen Rider Gotchard's opening theme. Kemi Cross Story is made by Back On, the same people who made Tycoon's insert theme Chair.
Way ahead of you, guy. Yeah, way ahead of you.
This is a band you actually like, right?
Well, yeah, I found them because I wasn't sure if they actually did. I didn't know a while ago when we were talking the new theme thing. We'll go back a step. There was a song that was Gotchard intro redo or remix or remade or something. And it sounded kind of rocky. So I turned it off right away because I was like, I don't want to spoil this. So then thinking about some other song thing, I was like, hey, I wonder who wrote the song for this season, just to get the vibe that way. And then that led to that they did the Keiwa song, which I shared with everybody. I've actually watched a 20 or 25 minute live, as me and Navigator call it. We've watched a concert of theirs already now at this point, and they're very good. They're like happy emo boy Linkin Park.
That's the vibe that I get from the two songs that I've heard so far. Apparently this band, as Shade points out, does a lot of openings for anime and stuff. So they've done multiple Gundam series and Fairy Tail, which I guess is also another anime.
It sure is.
They're apparently big in the anime opening scene, which is cool. I didn't know that.
So, as a general statement, almost any J blank band that you like, I would almost guarantee has been in 4 or 5 animes in some way, shape, or form. Because throughout the years now, as we found more and more bands that of the J variety, the opening joke is always, this sounds like an anime song. Let's look. And you just look and they have Hunter x Hunter season 2 closer and Mobile Gundam opener season 3, and there's hardcore tie-ins all the time.
Do you think that indicates that we as Americans, as English speakers, are only exposed to the bands that are in anime, or does it mean that every Japanese band is in an anime? Just no matter what, there's enough anime and there's enough bands that they're just they just pair up.
I think it's the latter, to be honest with you. Okay. Because in some of these crazy deep dives I've done to find bands, I'll go 2 or 3 tiers down from an actual popular band, and it'll be oh, they did an opening for season 7 of some show, and it's goddamn, they literally all do this. Here's a crazy example. There's a band called One OK Rock. The main singer is the son of a very famous producer, or his family owned a talent company, and very good singer. The band kind of blows. I thought I'd like them more, but I don't. In the past month, they have put out a song that is the theme for the Monster Hunter mobile game.
Oh, okay.
Or tied to Monster Hunter, in the fact where they get the animal wrong and someone's gonna get pissed off at me. The music video has a Rathalos attacking people in the actual music video, and it's extremely high production. 2 weeks later, they put out a short music video for the new Beyblade anime, or it's tied to Beyblade in the sense where they show people shooting off Beyblades in the music video. And this is one band in like a month has
Two
two
different.
anime-ish ties
Yeah.
already. And like they're super famous and popular over there. But I think no matter what, like I think if you're in a band that has like more than 5 fans in Japan, I
It's
think you're
just a
getting some
thing.
sort of anime opening. Yeah.
Well, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, like Japanese media, they get way more into theme songs than we do. Like think about like the Japanese TV shows that we know about, like anime, Kamen, stuff like that. They all have these themes and stuff that are generally like original. Where now think about like American shows, like we don't really even have openings anymore. Like at most, the show will be like blam blam, and then it'll show the title card, and then you're in the show.
And even with that, you just skip the intros
You
now.
skip it,
They
yeah.
have buttons for like, no one cares about the credits or who's in the show. Just press the button and let's move on with our day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're just not in the business of cool opening themes in this country for some reason, which is a real shame. But anyway, Shade also points out that the name Kemi X Story. I don't know if it's pronounced Kemi Cross Story or Kemi X Story.
It's probably Cross.
Probably Cross. Yeah, Kemi Cross Story is a pun. If you read the name in Japanese, it sounds like chemistry. Kemi Cross Story. Chemistry. So there you go.
Or maybe it is and then.
Kemi Yen Story. Maybe.
Chemistry. I don't know.
If you kind of like squint just a little bit, it makes a pun. And then you and I were talking about the ages of the actresses in the show, specifically the young girl. I think after the show, maybe it might have been after the recording last time, we looked up and she was 9. Shade says that the Kamen Rider is used to like young inexperienced actors, but Gotchard specifically has a pretty young cast. So the main lead, Kamen Rider Gotchard himself, is only 18 years old, and he has 4 months of acting experience.
So there's never been a better time to try to be a Kamen Rider.
Exactly. And Kudo, the main girl, is 15, and she has apparently auditioned for Baroba in Geats, so she's very young.
Well, that's funny. Like they just got the next series, at least in like
Just move down the
2's
line.
case.
Yeah,
like you can't be like the evil sassy girl, but now you can be like the coy sassy girl who's a secret chemistry master.
I'm getting less anarchy vibes from you and more strict rule following vibes from you. Shade says hopefully they'll grow and learn alongside the characters they play. I also find it interesting that they're supposed to be in the same grade, but they're 3 years apart, like in real life. Like that's kind of fascinating because they look like they'd be the same age too. Just to show that like I have no judge of like age of people.
Yeah, but like Baroba was 100, and she's played by a 15-year-old. Like
that's true.
That's a
got
weird.
Me there. Got me there.
I know what you're saying,
yeah.
But like like American TV's like that. Freaking the early teen kids in Dawson's Creek were like 27,
20 something. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We fall for stupid shit, man. You have to imagine the pictures of the mind, or whatever the hell the saying is. Disbelief of reality, or
suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, we got there. See,
there you go.
The alchemy did it right in there for me.
Shade says, now on to our Kimmy friend. Hopper 1 is an homage to Barry the Talking Grasshopper in Kamen Rider J.
That's right. He is just like Pikachu. I agree.
Though Barry is just a regular looking ass grasshopper, so he's not as cute as Hopper 1. Hopper 1 is voiced by Masato Fukuen. She previously voiced Sechan, a robot talking bird that likes to scream Sentai trivia at you in Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. Very relatable. Cool. Steamliner is voiced by Nobuyuki Hiyama, and he has voiced so many Monsters of the Week that I'm not even going to attempt to list any of them. That's got to be good work, right? Like, I just need you to shout intelligible things into this microphone for a little while. Can you make it growlier? Just like a little bit more growly. Okay, yep, that's perfect. That's good. Okay.
I think we did it. I think we did it a post episode, like when we figured out that person's 9. The Buckle voice I thought was the same Buckle voice from X-Aid, and it's not. But I looked up his IMDb, and he has like it was either almost 300 or 400 voice acting credits, which
So
had
many.
like every video game under the sun, all the tons of Pokemon, tons of uh, Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh and all the things. So like they definitely have. There's definitely pros over there, and these
Yeah.
pros do everything. They're like the Nolan Norths of the Japanese media world.
I thought his was really interesting, especially because he didn't have any of the roles like Nolan North does, where it's like he's the big leading man and he would say a bunch of things, and in Japanese it was like just you said, he's a Digimon, he's gonna say his name over and over again or whatever. He's doing these like these little roles that are um not like bit roles, but like yeah, tiny, like sometimes not even probably spoken language, just sounds.
Like yeah, like the
Um
driver guy wasn't like the voice of Charmander. He was
yeah,
like the voice of Bidoof.
right, exactly. Which like and clearly it's working for him. Like you said, he had like 400 credits or something, so he's doing it. It's just an interesting thing for like that to be your niche in voice acting. I'm just like I'm the guy who comes in and makes a few animal noises, and then that's it. That's what I do.
I feel like that's easier than trying to make your voice not sound like your voice. Like if they're like, "Hey Toby, now you're playing treasure hunter like Indiana Jones, but with lots of personality." Like that would sound the same as me talking to you, basically. Other than me like talking faster or trying to throw slang around or sassiness or whatever.
Mhm.
But I feel like they would all sound the same. Like Nolan North's problem is he always sounds like Nolan North.
He always sounds like Nolan North. Yeah.
That would be my problem. So I think it's better if like one day I just be like Pikachu, and the next day I could go Bidoof. You know,
Bidoof.
that's a way easier voice acting, I think.
You're right. It is. Yeah. And we apparently read Shade's mind here because Shade says, like you guys have pointed out before, the Gotchard driver's voice actor, as we were just talking about, previously voiced a character in Go Sager, specifically Gosei Knight, aka Robo Knight, in Power Rangers Mega Force.
We remember him.
Yeah, you like him.
He was okay.
He's,
No,
he's
we didn't because I feel like he used to hit on Sierra Hannah, and I used to get mad.
I don't. Yeah, maybe that's true. Yeah, I was trying to remember. I just don't have good memories of that show, I think. That's really what it boils down to. I just remember there's that show being butt. I think
I just remember my Photoshop of being a creeper on the two nice young ladies,
yeah,
and
like that.
that spawned a legacy that carries with us today.
I have fond memories of like watching that show with you, but when I try to think about the show, it's just like it's like alarm bells start going off, like "Brr, brr, back away, back away." It's not good. It's not good stuff. Then finally, Shade has a thing from Kamen Rider Geats. Shade says, I don't usually send stuff about stage shows, but this one's funny. Appearing in the stage show is Kamen Rider Geats' takoyaki form. And Shade sends a picture. And this was actually, I think, shared in our Discord as well that I was looking at.
I'm ahead of the game this time.
You're ahead of the game on this one?
Yeah, I posted in Discord the other day.
Oh, you posted it. Okay, yeah, I was saying, I've
That's what I'm
seen
saying.
this
Josh,
image.
listen, season two, comment writers.
You're
I'm
just
no
here.
longer the naive boy.
Yeah, you're the
I'm now
boy
the
who
naive
makes.
man.
You're the naive man who makes scoops.
Yeah, I'm popping
I
scoops left and right.
I'm just excited. So first of all, I'm very excited that takoyaki is a thing that has entered my life twice this week because I didn't know what it was before this week. But then I saw this Kamen Rider Geats forum, and then I was watching a YouTube video. There's a YouTube channel called Tokyo Lens that I like a whole lot. The main guy on there is named Norm, and the latest video of his that I watched, he went on a long haul trucker route with a Japanese trucker. And he and the trucker stopped for lunch and got takoyaki. And while he was eating it, he explained what it was to the camera. And if you don't know, they are little balls that typically have like fried octopus inside them. And I had no idea. So there you go, takoyaki.
You should play more Yakuza games. They've been in
I
all of
should.
them.
I should. Did you know what they were though when you were getting takoyaki in those games?
I probably looked it up eventually, and then I got mad because eating octopus is rude. So then,
Rude?
yeah,
What?
octopuses are octopi.
Oh, it's
Octopi are
uh
fucking genius animals.
They are.
And people over here, oh, let's have calamari. Oh, let's fry up an octopus. This is pretty funny. And then shit hits the fan. I
So
find it offensive.
rude in the like it's immoral sense. I thought you were trying to tell me that like in Japan it's like a faux pas. Like you
It
know
is if I'm there. Don't worry.
if you're there, you're smacking takoyaki out of everybody's hands. I'm sorry this cool Kamen Rider Gates forum just personally offends you.
I actually forgot what was inside of it. And now you just reminded me. And I have to go back to my heart stance again. So this is on you now.
Yeah. Glad I could help.
Yeah.
Shade, thanks for that info as always. Shade also sent us in another email, but I think we're going to save this one because this is Xaid trivia. So I might sprinkle some of these in on our Xaid watches for you as we are doing that. So if you want to hear some of the Xaid trivia that Shade sent along, join our Patreon and you can listen along during our watch and reacts for Kamen Rider Xaid. And yeah, we're pretty in the show now. I'll say like we're in the thick of it.
I think we're episode 17 is the next one we're watching.
Tables have been turned, characters have perished, things are
Christmas
happening.
is ruined.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we'll share some of those things in the Xaid show. And then last email, Toby, comes in from Olivia. Olivia previously sent us in a very fun game for you. And Olivia has upped the ante and has sent in another game. Toby, are you ready for this game?
I'm as ready as I'm going to be.
All right. Olivia says, hey guys, this game is called If Sumi Holds a Gun to Your Head, you henshin, or pull out a bigger gun, or do one of 446 other things. Josh mentioned last week that his wife had recently been watching the entirety of the TV show Suits. This inspired me to create another game for you all, wherein it is your job to discern if this is a quote from the tokusatsu show Kamen Rider or a quote from the legal drama Suits. And the answers are in white underneath each of the quotes, so we can both play. It can be a two-player game. So
we're gonna smash this. This is gonna be like when Xaid splits into orange and blue. This is gonna be, we're gonna clear this co-op perfectly, or whatever the hell he says.
So I'm gonna write down. I'm gonna keep track of points here. So Toby and Josh got this going. Okay.
So if I'm gonna say now, if we tie, you lose because you are at least adjacent to this media. I'm just over here in both shows.
I have sat through upwards of 10 minutes of the television show Suits since my wife had been watching it. So yes, I'm well versed in Suits. Ask me anything about Suits.
Who's in the Suits?
I don't know. Dudes? Maybe a girl. There might be a woman. I don't know. At one point I walked through and like one character was just being really mean to another character. And I'm like, isn't that the main guy? Aren't you supposed to be rooting for him? And she was like, you're kind of rooting for the other guy. And then he was being a jerk too. I don't know. I don't know who the good people are in Suits. I don't know if there are good people in Suits. They all just seem like dicks, but they're wearing suits, and that's the show. It's called Suits. That much I know. Anyway, the first quote, Toby, is no kicking, no biting, no rabbit punches.
I'm going to say Suits.
I think that one is Suits as well, because it seems a little too coy.
Wait, Suits is a legal show? It's a legal drama?
It is a legal drama. The few minutes that I've seen, it's a legal drama. I think it maintains that throughout.
Like Law and Order-ish? Or whatever like LA Law? I think that's called LA Law?
I think they're more like corporate. Like I think they have a bunch of corporate clients, so it's a lot of like sitting in boardrooms and stuff and sitting in conference
They're defending
rooms.
big business.
They're defending big business. So the couple things I saw was like they're like bullying like an individual because the individual is suing a corporation.
Perfect.
I don't know why
you sound like good people. I'm ready.
It's terrible. All right, so we're both saying Suits on this one. The answer is Suits. We both got a point.
Write that down.
Written down.
Yeah, now you have to answer. Now you have to answer first this time. We're gonna go back and forth. I'm not gonna cheat and just ride my coattails.
That's fair. Next answer is I'm not here for your absolution. I'm here for your redemption.
That's like that Pink song.
I think this one Suits.
I'm gonna say, but the other option is Kamen Rider, right?
The other option is Kamen Rider.
This is a Kamen Rider quote.
It is Suits. Point for Josh. All right, next one. The moment you try to be a hero, you're disqualified.
That sounds like Kamen Rider.
I'm gonna say Suits again. It is Kamen Rider. You get a point.
I hope that was from like the DGP one.
I don't remember that, but maybe it was.
I don't think it was, honestly, either.
Next quote. What kind of friend isn't a pain in the ass sometimes?
The realest of statements, by the way.
It's so true. I'm gonna say Suits.
I'm gonna go Kamen Rider again, because a lot of the Kamen Rider friendships seem like we're kind of fucking with each other most of the time.
You are correct. It is Kamen Rider. Point for Toby. Next one. You think I could be destroyed? Fuck you.
I have never seen a Kamen Rider show use that kind of language, so I'm gonna say Suits by default.
I'm gonna say Kamen Rider because sometimes the translations, like there's not a perfect translation for cursing, and like sometimes it gets harsher in translation. So I'm gonna say Kamen Rider. So you said Suits, and I'm saying Kamen Rider. Okay, let's see which one it is. It's Kamen Rider. Yeah.
The downfall of this game as well, and not that you have much more information about it. I don't know what streaming service Suits is on. So if this is like a 8:00 ABC television show, they would never curse. But if it's like a Showtime cool guy show, they say lots of bad words.
I think it's a USA show. It's definitely a basic cable show.
Well, see, I never would have guessed. I never would have guessed the fuck you thing. That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. I'm so angry. Next quote is, sorry I can't hear you over the sound of how awesome I am. Is it my turn to go first?
Sure.
Suits.
I'm going to say the way that Toby talks to most of his friends. We'll go Kamen Rider for that one.
That one is Suits. Point for me. Next one is, if I hit this button, I call Michael Jordan.
You know what? I'm going Kamen Rider anyway. I don't care. That sounds like the most Americanized thing possible.
I'm going to go Suits. It is Suits.
This game's bullshit.
Sometimes when the answer is obvious, the answer is just obvious. All right, next one. It's time to count up your sins.
Even though it's not going to be Suits, I'm picking Suits. I don't care.
That one's Kamen Rider.
I would have got that one. That one was.
I think you knew that. Would you like me to give you a point for that one?
Sure.
I feel like you knew that
one. Keep it close.
Next one. Sometimes good guys got to do bad things to make the bad guys pay.
That's like tons of cartoons. That's like a Spider-Man quote, probably. So we're gonna go Kamen Rider.
I'm gonna say Suits on this one. It is Suits.
So when Josh said he watched 10 minutes of the show, he meant he watched 10 episodes of the show.
No, I mean that 10 minutes of the show was apparently quite indicative of the rest of the series. Next one is, unless you have photoshopped my head onto a dragon, do not interrupt me. See, the use of Photoshop here makes me think it's going to be Suits.
I'm going to say Kamen Rider.
All right, I'm saying Suits, you're saying Kamen Rider. It is Suits.
I'm just going to keep doing the opposite and hope they get one right doing the opposite.
Well, very last one. By the way, your fly is open.
Both. It's going to be both. We always get these fucking trick questions.
I'm going to say Suits. And it's Kamen Rider. It's actually Kamen Rider. I'll give you a half point for that. So you got 4.5, and I got 8.
Yeah, that was a close game. Good one.
Again, maybe Ask Me Anything About Suits wasn't as jokey as I thought. I can't tell you the name of any of the characters in Suits, but I know all the quotes, apparently.
I'm gonna kick your fucking ass.
Yeah. You're gonna Photoshop me onto a dragon, or you're gonna fuck me. Whoa! That's what they say in Suits, apparently.
I'm looking at the cast list real quick.
Suits I know. Like, I got Michael Jordan on the phone right now, and I got Photoshop up on this computer.
I know none of these people. It made it 9 seasons, though.
There's a lot of suits.
Apparently, there's guy suits and lady suits.
Yeah. And in all my time, like walking to the kitchen past the TV that was playing Suits, I never saw him not wearing suits. So the name's pretty accurate.
That's clever.
Yeah. That's it for emails for today. Olivia, thanks very much for the game. Very fun as always. If you'd like to send us an email, send those over to cast@commonwritersucks.com. And with that, we'll jump into our discussion of Kamen Rider Gotchard episode 2. So we had some things explained, we had some things furthered. We have filled in some gaps from episode 1. But the first gap we filled in, Toby, you talked about it a second ago, is the theme song. So how are you feeling about the Kamen Rider Gotchard theme song?
It's the best one we've had yet.
Really?
It's with the word that we use. It's very Tobes core. So it's the most fun of the themes that we've heard. I mean, like my pool is lower than others, but the only other super fun hype one is I really like the X-Aid one, but
Yeah.
that's like that weird boy band stuff. This is
It
like
is.
pure like rap rock and new metal. Let's go.
My issue with this one, I think that this one will grow on me a lot. My only issue was it felt a little too soft until the rap section started. And then as soon as the rap section started, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm into this. But I think the rest of the song, I wish it was just a little bit rockier. But I do think it'll be one that will end up being very catchy to me for sure. I still think I like Trust Last better so far, but I'll I'll keep you guys informed if that changes.
I guess the way to really work for me is at some point will I start skipping the theme song. So
That's true.
This beginning judgment of I watch the intro and everything else is fine. We'll have to see a couple episodes down where I'm like, I don't want to hear the song anymore, or we go from there.
We are already to the point that we're already better than Geats because you heard the theme song once on Geats and your first answer was like, well, I'm just going to be skipping it from now on. And if that's a question right now for you for this show, it's already leaps and bounds better.
Well, like I feel like this, unless I'm misremembering, like I feel like Geats had like the actual opening credits. Wasn't this like overlaid with shit going on in the show? I feel like the credits were scrolling across the bottom. It was still the show more so than an opening.
In this episode right now?
Yeah.
I think we got the full opening. Let me go back and double check. Yeah, we got a little bit of a
Oh yeah, no,
yeah,
it was a
we
stupid
did.
thing
We did, yeah.
because I was making fun of the bad puns in this song. That's right.
See that's one thing I haven't done is actually go through and like read the song translation super closely. So
Well, no,
I'm
so it's
interested
good.
to
Like the one line is just taking on the challenges is your homework, and then later they have a joke about like blah 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 time to do math. So
okay, that's a mark against it. I don't need my cool rap rock songs being about math.
this one's a together our reach is tenfold. That's just math. That's the rap part, and that comes
Great.
after the doing the thing is your homework, and then
Oof.
it's you ready. Each time we meet, it's chemistry. Since I guess Chemi X story is
Chemie X
chemistry.
story.
But then that's cute. That's fun. Every time we meet, it's chemistry.
That one's cute. Yeah, that one's cute.
And this show's about alchemy, so it's almost the same thing.
It really is true. Sometimes songs are better in other languages because you can't understand the words. Sometimes that is a marked improvement.
For my in-depth J musicking, I get more. I somehow feel like more emotionally tied to a lot of like J rock songs.
Yeah,
And I have no idea what they're saying other than like possibly the Americanized chorus than like
the couple
American
of words.
songs.
Yeah. I feel that. All right. Well, the show opens up, Toby, and I guess on episode 1, we ended with Mr. Minato revealed that he was clearly an alchemist. So our show now opens, and our friend Hotaro is kind of like, what's going on? Why is my teacher here? What are you guys about? And he gets the quick and dirty explanation of, hey, I teach at an alchemy school. She goes to the alchemy school. I think you should join the alchemy school. And
They go to the Alchemist Academy, like Hogwarts Wizarding School of Wizards.
It's very Hogwarts like. The hilarious thing, so they go to their one entrance in the alchemy school, which is raise up all the junk so you can go up high, which it still shocks me that's the only way to get in apparently to this entire academy.
It went from what we thought was Kudo's apartment to there's actually a whole goddamn school in here.
Yeah. It's a whole school, except I'm pretty sure the school maybe just has a one-room classroom because they just go in that one room and the teacher says something along the lines of like, "Welcome to Alchemy Academy." Like, oh, this is it? Oh, and it's filled with like it's filled with stuff that looks like it should be on your grandma's mantle, like a bunch of tchotchkes everywhere that I'm assuming are things that can be
Alchemy.
alchemized. Yeah. but it's just filled with junk, just trash everywhere basically.
If they were like, "Hey, we're going to this curios shop and we have a hidden location in here," it's the same vibe.
Yeah. Exactly. Hotaro is of course pretty impressed by everything he's seeing. You know, he's just here for action. He's just here for fun. He's just along for the ride. And again, this is where sort of he's being presented an opportunity to join the academy. Very quickly. Like they're excited about this Kamen Rider being in the academy suddenly. But he's got to pass a test, Toby.
School, the worst of things.
Yep. The test is he is given 2 chemi cards, and it's explained to us that chemi cards have different weights, and the weight appears to be the number on them, is what I was kind of gathering. So some are heavier and some are lighter, and they put them on a scale. And his assignment is he has to even their weights out. He has to even out the weights, so then they weigh evenly on the scale. He's given no further instructions.
Well, if you want to be a cool guy scientist, you got to figure it out.
I guess so. It was a little frustrating. Later on, he talks to Kudo again, and she's like, "How's it going? Did you figure out how to do that yet?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't know how to do this at all." And she was like, "Well, I would use my ring, and I have this technique where I can make the weights even. But that's too advanced for you. Nope, but you got to do it anyway."
Use your little brain, bud. Use your little brain.
It was just so silly. It's like, well, there's a way to do it. We're not going to teach you how to do it, but you have to do it. Anyway,
that's like how Yoda taught Luke to use the Force.
It truly is, and it was frustrating then too. I know it was supposed to be like mystical and like figure it out yourself whole thing. I always thought the Yoda scene was so frustrating. Just tell me, quit talking in riddles, you little green monster, and tell me things.
Josh, guess what?
What?
I cracked this code the other day. One of the main Yoda statements, I believe, was only Siths talk in absolutes. Right?
Maybe. Yeah, that's true.
Was that a Yodaism?
I think so.
Yoda also said, "Luke, do or do not, there is no try." So that sounds like a bunch of absolutes to me, just for the record.
Also, the statement "only Siths talk in absolutes" is an absolute in and of itself.
Perfect. That's 2 of them. Fuck that little green guy.
I'm just saying Yoda's full of some bullshit. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hilariously, my daughter, who's never seen Star Wars, but has seen Baby Yoda on a T-shirt, so she knows that's Baby Yoda. We were in a restaurant the other day, and Star Wars was playing. She saw Yoda on TV, and she was like, "Baby Yoda," and I'm like, "No, that's the big one. That's the adult one." She was very excited to see Baby Yoda in the flesh, but it was just regular Yoda. The other thing that happens here, Toby, is that Kudo needs to know where Hotaro got the Gotchard driver. He shows up. He's a Kamen Rider. She wants answers. Damn it. He tells her that he got it from some old guy in some weird place. He doesn't know much about it. He doesn't know the guy's name. And Kudo, she does know, Toby. She knows exactly who that man is, and he's a traitor.
He's the worst of the alchemies.
She says that I think it was was it 10 years ago? Yeah, it was 10 years ago. She said he took the 101 chemis and disappeared. The academy had been protecting them, had them under lock and key, basically, and he stole them all and he absconded away. and that made him a traitor. And then we have a little flashback, Toby, and lo and behold, we find out that the old man who gave him the Kamen Rider driver, who bestowed the Kamen Rider upon him, is Kudo's father.
At
Dun,
least it
dun,
was
dun.
someone's dad.
Yeah, it's her dad. I'm impressed we got the dad reveal this quickly.
I mean,
And honestly,
but it
it
also
still
helps build up some drama of like if he goes to visit her dad again or something. Like maybe him, our hero, and Kudo's dad become best buds. And she's like, "Why does he want to talk to me, that traitor?" And I could like do like mid-season drama.
yeah, I think that's probably where we're going. My Also, this doesn't rule out that he isn't also uh the dad of Hotaro, I think. Cuz
But when Hotaro's mom have all of them in a picture, are you just saying different mom?
no, I'm saying oh yeah, you're right. You're right. It could the mom does sort of ruin that, I guess. Cuz
I mean,
I was thinking maybe Hotaro and Kudo are brother and sister in some way without knowing it, but maybe not.
this still could be
Yeah,
that traitor bastard dad could be running around.
yeah, that's true. He's just out here starting restaurants with some women and starting alchemy academies with others.
That's his night job.
Yeah, he just gets around. I do think we are heading straight on a path where the alchemists, so like Minato and Kudo, are wanting to keep the chemis, contained, wanting to keep them in the card so they can't get out and keep them, like I said, like locked down. And then I think that Hotaro and Kudo's dad are gonna want to like they need to be free. They're creatures. Let them live. And I think that's gonna cause some issues.
I could see Hotaro and Kudo being on that let the creatures go do their thing path, and then Alchemy Teacher is going to be on with the secret swerve of like, you can't do that. They're monsters that we use, and then he can be like a big bad ish down the
Maybe,
road.
yeah. We're gonna have to do some unbrainwashing then of Kudo because she was very on the when she explains chemis, she's like, they're not of the natural order. The fact that they exist isn't natural. she's very she's very against chemis when she starts talking to him later about it. Which I found pretty funny. But yeah, she looked up to her dad. She thought it was a hero. Now he's a traitor. Then, like I said, we talked about the weights. Hodoro goes home. So he heads home, he helps his mom, and they have a nice little chat about Hodoro's dad. He left them basically just like suddenly, is what it sounded like. And it was to go follow his dream. First, the restaurant had been his dream, but now he's off chasing his dream somewhere else, doing other things. And the mom says that she's not mad at him because she can't fault someone who is out chasing their dreams. And then she realizes that Hotaro has also found his dream that he's trying to accomplish, and she's very proud of him.
That's pretty impressive that she would just take the divorce and be like, "Oh, you want to do something else with your time? That's cool. I'll see you later."
Yeah, I'm just here running this business one-handed.
This
And
business that you built, by the way, you
yeah,
made this business, and then you told me to work here, and now you're like, "Yeah, I'm done with this now. I'm gonna do something else."
thanks for saddling me with both a business and a child to raise. But no, you have important things to do, dude. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I this guy can fuck straight off as far as I'm concerned. But she's taking it in stride apparently.
She's handling way better than the rest of us are.
Yeah, I would not be thrilled about that. But like I said, she's very proud of Hotaro. Because look, he's following his dream, but he's still going home to help his mom. The important things. After that, we cut over to Hotaro's friend, of course, the one who is very certain that monsters exist. He's hanging out at the park. He's hanging out near the skate park, and we see the Skibo Kemi. Skibo is a skateboard-based Kemi who shows up and decides he wants to skate with the local kids and ends up possessing one of their skateboards.
The best part of Skibo is the fact that he is a skateboard, because it sounds like Skibo, kind of.
Yep. Skibo.
And the only way that they differentiated the Skibo board versus the other board is they glued on what looks like two plastic I'm gonna call them Kamen Rider helmet lenses or Kamen
Yeah.
Rider
It was like
lens eyes.
sunglasses almost. Yeah.
Yeah, like it looks extremely cheap, and like
So
they don't
cheap.
look even or properly secured onto the skateboard. But we got a lot of cool skateboarding tricks with Skibo the skateboard.
We did. It starts out as like Skibo is CG, and like for a moment he takes over the other skateboard and he's still CG. And then, like you said, they cut to the it's just a skateboard with eyeballs taped on the front, with like lenses taped on the front, and it's great. It is one of the funniest parts of this episode. Just like, okay, yeah, it's just a skateboard. You've just taped something to the front of the skateboard. Perfect. Uh, I love it. I love it a lot. Skibo, just having a grand old time at the skate park. He's riding the kids around, even they're having a great time until two criminals show up. They clearly had an elaborate plan where they had taped over their license plate to go commit a crime, steal a whole bunch of money. They stopped here at the park to take off their license plate cover, and
And
then they're
an
gonna
evil
continue on.
laugh. We're
Yes.
rich.
And that little evil laugh perked up the non-existent ears of young Skibo, and he started following them because human malice and all that. And then eventually catches up to them, and one of the guys ends up murdering the other guy, like throws him off a bridge, which was pretty crazy.
Because instead of splitting the profits, because only
Yeah.
split it one way.
I love that he tossed him over too. The first guy is like, "We did it, and with our teamwork." And then the second he talks about teamwork is when he gets thrown off a bridge. That was pretty brutal. And that was just enough malice for Skibo to fully engulf this guy, which definitely showed us too what the enemies are going to look like, what the boss monsters are going to look like. I think they're always going to be that like kind of like steel beam looking thing around their whole bodies with the chemi embedded in their head, because that was um the Camacho, or whatever the monster from the first episode was called. It was kind of the same way, where like the steel kind of wraps around the chemi as the head, and then the rest of the body is like those steel things wrapped around like a weird steel mummy.
I was funny because like with the with Skibo monster form itself, it was both absurd but made me laugh like the old days of like OG Power Rangers, where you look
Yes.
at the outfit and go, "Man, this is fucking stupid," but I understand how it ties into like the riddle or the theme of the day, and you just soak it in. And you're like, "Yeah, this is fine. This is just this just works." Yeah,
Yeah,
like he looks like a mummy zombie skateboard. Yeah, yeah, let's go.
it's so good. Yeah. I had the exact same thought that like this is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is what this is. Like the the look is just so perfect. Yeah, it just matches the theme of our little Chemi friend, and it's great. It's so dumb, but it just works so perfectly. Like he's got like skateboards taped on his arms. Like he's got a skateboard, I guess it's broken in half,
Over
and
his head.
then each one on his arms and one over his head. Yeah, the one on his head kind of forms the mouth and stuff. Um, just so good. It also vaguely reminds me of the monsters from Power Rangers RPM. Those were pretty cheesy too. Kind of in the same vein.
I'm sure if we went back and looked at most of the monsters that we've seen over the years,
I'm sure
I'm sure they're
they're
probably
really, yeah.
all on pace with this, but it definitely works. It's definitely
I feel like in Geats we got a whole lot of uh a little bit scarier looking monsters. Like I know that the Giamato were often dressed funny, but they looked the same other than the clothes that they were wearing. And then outside of that, the bigger monsters were generally like not played for laughs as much or didn't look as like hilarious. Where these are clearly they're going to be going for some hilarious things based on the first couple so far, which I am all for with the theme of this episode. Of course, that's our Kemi. And then we get to the scene, of course, where, as I mentioned, Hotaro is talking to Kudo in the park, and she explains a bit more
learning some
about
magic or learning some
exactly.
alchemy.
It's not magic. She's very clear on that, Toby.
That's what we're gonna say it is. It's gonna
Yeah.
make her feel good about her role here as an instructor ish.
And yeah, she's very against chemis. They go against the natural order, and the term for the monsters we find out is malgam. So when they fuse with human malice, like we just saw the Skibo monster do, they become a malgam,
Is that like
like amalgam,
yeah, okay.
amalgamation. Yeah.
Which is a mixture or blend.
Yep, that's true.
And specifically, it is used in chemistry when you make like fillings and stuff.
Nice. It all comes together. um, and then of course Hotaro comes over and sees Skibo. We have have a little bit of a Skibo fight. um, yeah, I'm generally liking the action, I think, in this show so far. Like um I like how Gotchard moves around. I like when he activates his rider kick. I like that he does like a little jump a little bit as he's getting warmed up for it. It's very kind of Street Fighter esque. Like he does a little kind of bounce back and forth as he gets warmed up for the big giant kick, which I think is very cool.
I like how like half pensions and then like reforms to get the power for the kick to go through the guy.
I thought that was
Was
so
like that
freaking
was like
cool.
slick.
Yeah. Yeah, like all of his parts come off basically, which is really neat. And then yeah, just like slots them all back in. Speaking of we talked about it, I think a little bit before we started recording. The transformation course makes it very clear that the card combinations you use to transform have to add up to 10. So
Which I
I
guessed, and then
you did
everyone
guess, yeah.
it was pointed out to me. Well, if you watch the transformation course, but I didn't have to watch transformation course, so I'll accept that my guess was confirmed. But I didn't cheat and have to have the show tell me. I just figured it out on my own.
Yeah,
I should be the master of alchemy now.
it's an honor system for sure for this, but yes, that's true. But it made me think like, okay, so how many possible combinations then are there in these 101 cards? Like, I'm sure someone's done that math. If someone has done that math, write in and tell us, or tell us in Discord, because now I'm curious how many different possible combinations we can have, and if the driver has a noise for each of those combinations.
I would assume it has to have most of them. Like
I would think so. Yeah.
in the ones that we've seen, I feel like they're all mainly ones or nines so far. So obviously they can keep the show moving, keep putting things together. But there's a lot of options. And if you have a deck of 52 cards, it looks like there's 8.0658 times 10 to the 67th power number of combinations out of 52 cards.
Yeah, but that's like every card combined with every other card. But really you'd only combine, like you would combine the, 6 and the 4, and then you wouldn't be able to combine the 6 with anything else.
But I guess more so like if there's 101 cards and we say like the averages we see is ones and nines to make 10. I feel like doing 50 cards and their combinations is
Oh,
enough of
I see what you're saying.
a little bit of fake math.
Yeah. That's
Oh no,
still a lot then.
no, I think that number is wrong. Yeah, someone do the real math.
Yeah, because that would be then 51s paired with 50
59s.
different nines, yeah, whatever that would be. But who knows what the actual values of the Chemi cards are? I haven't looked through all of them to see if they're all ones and nines. I'm sure there's some other values mixed in there. But it'd be interesting to know if the driver can actually do all those. And also interesting to guess how many of those we'll get in the show. I don't know.
I wonder if he tries to. I know they know now. It has to be 10. So I guess it won't happen on the show. I wonder what would happen in person if you do bad math. Like, does the driver buzz at you, or say that's bad alchemy and doesn't do anything, or like?
I'm sure that
I
there's
want to know
a
what the error
YouTube
state
video that
is. I
explains
guess.
this. Yeah. I'm definitely sure that someone on a YouTube video with that driver has done that now at this point and knows. Um, Also, I'm not technically sure that Hotaro knows the number thing yet, because the transformation courses are like vaguely canon, but like not 100%. So like he maybe learned something there, but he'll learn it again later. Who knows? um, because it's very fourth wall breaking. The transformation courses are sometimes, so it could be that they're going to pretend like he didn't know it later on. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Hotaro also gets in this episode the bike. He gets Gold Dash.
Which is a pretty slick looking bike.
It's so freaking cool, man. I hope we get to see a lot of it this season because it is rad. It's as shiny as he is. It has these cool blue headlights. And that's it. It's a bike. It's cool. I like it. But I liked how we introduced it too. The teacher, the alchemy teacher, just sort of like rides up and was like, I mean, I got this motorcycle. It's just very, very just like, you wanna take this thing and go chase down the skateboard? Yeah, sure. Okay, let's do it. Yeah.
Seems like it'll work.
Yeah, yeah. He does some cool jumps on the old bike too, which is pretty neat. Like jumps over a big crane, if I remember right. Uh, yeah, just some cool action on the bike. Now, like I said, we'll see if we actually see more of it later on or not, but we shall see. Like I said, we get skip a fight, and then we get back into kind of the ending of the episode here. So he, of course, had his alchemy test. Toby, what happens in the results of his alchemy test? He gets back in the alchemy room. We're at the scale. What goes down?
He finds, or he has, two dramatically different cards. He has his little, whatever that new one was. I'm trying to find the names real quick.
Oh, of the two cards. So he's doing Camantis and yeah, I'm trying to scroll through there too. Camantis and Odoripa.
So, Mantis is a big fatso. And
Yeah.
Odoripa is a little tiny, oddish looking, fluffy, light flying thing. So, Kudo gets all impressed. She's like, wow, you did it. How'd you do it? This is genius. Tell me your magical science. And he says, oh, I just asked him. And she says, what the hell are you talking about, you little idiot? And he says, well, I asked Camantis to eat a little bit less. And I asked the other guy to eat a little bit more. And then it made the weight, so the mate weights even.
And then it works. Like they balance. And the alchemy teacher is like, well, that's not how you were supposed to do it, but you pass. Like, how was he supposed to do it then? Like, what is the answer? If you weren't going to teach him any alchemy, and he wasn't supposed to talk to the chemies to figure it out, what did you expect from this boy? I don't get it.
It was actually the opposite way. Camantis the 9 was supposed to put on weight, and Odoripa the 1 was supposed to lose weight.
Okay, so their numbers don't actually correspond to their weights then.
I guess not now.
Which is interesting.
Unless Camantis is that fat. But I don't know. Maybe it's just like power level or something. Or
yeah, maybe.
I do want to point out the one thing about the cards. Or I guess there's two things about the cards. All the episodes now do a very who's that Pokemon scene towards the beginning.
Yeah.
That seems like it's a commercial break. Will they just show two cards from the show or the episode? Or
yeah, it's the bumper to and from commercial. Yeah.
Yeah, like the stars. And I appreciate that. I think that's like the first time it seemed random when they just like showed two cards. But now they definitely like, after seeing it twice, it's definitely like, hey, these are the guys of the episode. Everyone get ready, pull your cards out and watch the show and play along with us.
Yeah.
And the other thing about
if I remember right, who's that Pokemon was generally a Pokemon from that episode as well. Like it wasn't just random for the most part. It was like this episode's kind of focused around Pikachu. So we're gonna say who's the Pokemon? It's Pikachu. Whoa.
Yeah. And then the other thing, and I'm not gonna say it's the show's fault, but it is the show's fault. The most irritating thing in media is you're watching it. Let's say I'm a young idiot child instead of an old idiot man.
Okay.
I'm watching the show. I'm like, wow, the Camantis card is so cool. He moves, he slashes his little blades. I can't wait to own one of these. And then you buy the card, you take it home and you look at it, and the damn cards don't move. And it's remotely irritating to me when they CG things that they know people are going to have, because your version at home is not going to be the same as you see on TV. That's kind of stupid to me.
That's fair. Yeah, I'll give you that. I will say in the defense, like you a lot of these cards are like foil, where like you can turn them left and right and they shimmer and like move a little bit that way, which is kind of similar.
All right.
but yeah, the animation they're doing is it's literally an animation. Like Skibo's like scooting around and stuff like that. Uh, but yeah, it's interesting too. There's a Goldash card. So like, can he summon Goldash using the cards again somehow? Very interested to find that out.
At some point, it's gonna get turned into a Kemi.
Yeah, I guess so. Uh, Skibo is a 2 and Goldash is a 7. Just to keep everyone up with the numbers. So there's some not 1 and 9 for you. You can't use Skibo and Goldash together. They only add up to 9. Too bad, folks. Yeah, I'm with you on the cards. It is a weird thing to be like, they're animated, they're doing crazy stuff. It's like, no, you can't actually do any of that stuff. They're just static images, just trading cards. Everyone, calm down.
Stupid.
And then yeah, that's the end of the episode. So he's off on his alchemy journey, but not quite doing it the right way.
There's all sorts of silly things you're forgetting here. There's
Well,
two more. There's two more classmates that came to visit.
Yep, that's true.
We don't know who they are yet, but one seems to be a wiser girl, and the other one is a very soft talking boy who needs to use a computer program to speak out loud. And
I
they're
thought
wrapped.
that I thought that he was very like anime character. Like there's always that anime character who's like carrying their notebook in the exact same pose that he was. Um, and there's always that like super soft spoken like I don't want to impose type character. This is very
So
anime.
to tie this into the Japanese music talks of the day, one of my favorite bands is called My First Story, and the singer Hiro is an amazing singer. Gets crazy hyped when he's singing, jumping, rocking out, doing sprinting across the stage. But when he talks to the crowd in between songs, he basically talks like this, and arigato, and he talks so quiet and mumbles so hard that it's insane that he is like the front man, loud ass voice dude he is. So this kid, no matter what, going forward from here on out, will be named Hero because of the kid in My First Story.
Great. I'm glad that that's not going to be confusing. That's great.
And then also at the end, Gotchard and Kudo are having a talk about the skills of the cards, and he wants to be the best, and someday his dreams are going to come true. And Kudo keeps going doing this weird back and forth thing where like I feel like she's half irritated by him,
Yeah.
but half thinks he's a nice, cool guy, and she's just like, oh yeah, I just want to understand why you're doing things. Like it's not like she's just like riding his ass for no reason. Like she just wants to know the logic behind some of his choices. So they had a nice little scene together where I feel like is strengthening their little relationship.
Mhm.
But
I thought that I thought it was a cute little scene because she's very by the book, of course, like you're saying, and she's telling him like you're not doing alchemy right, and he was like, yeah, but I did it my way, and she's like, but I'm just gonna keep doing it my way, and then he has a cool little sum up where he's like, okay, you do it your way, I'll do it mine, and we'll get along like that. Like it was very neat. Like yeah, that's fine. We can do our separate things and still work together.
and like I guess because like there's so much interpersonal drama with the rest of them, like her facial reactions when he says these things is never like Buffa used to get mad at Geets and Keiwa about them being, especially like Keiwa, like being naive and oh, I'm just going to bumble my way through it. And like his fellow friends would get irritated with him. But Kudo's responses are always just like, she just smiles and she's like, all right, yeah. Like there's no like
Yeah.
malice there yet. It's just like, okay,
I,
he's different than me, but I don't care.
I think she can't help but be charmed by him. Is the weird thing. Like she's very strict by the book, but yeah, then he's like, I'm gonna be friends with everybody, and then she just grins at him. So I think she's a little, like I said, charmed by his nature. Because
And
also
that,
like it's a it's a little Freudian because her dad was her big hero, right? And he was the big like take down the chemies hero alchemist. And now she's seeing Hodoro be the hero common writer, and maybe she's like, "Oh, my dad was like that too. Very into guys like this."
and then right at the end,
Yeah,
there is who I'm for now There's no name yet, so any name is up for grabs. From the back, at least, he has the Alchemy Academy jacket on, leather. Looks pretty stylish. He also reminds me of Kekara because of the purple trim and little flourishes. But he's very like, oh, a wannabe alchemist is calling himself a Kamen Rider. Like, that can't be. And he pulls out this big ass cool sword.
And yeah, the sword is awesome. So I will tell you that this is the guy who we see henshin in the transformation course. So if you want to see that ahead of time, you can watch that. If not, then don't. But he's the one we get a little preview of what he looks like when he transforms. But yeah, for now we just know that he's got this crazy sword, and I dig his whole vibe. He's very cool. He's got the, like you said, like the leather jacket with the purple and stuff accents, which is very neat. And the sword is awesome. You can see a little bit more of how it works in the transformation course, and it makes it even more awesome for me. I'm in pretty deep on sword guy. I hope he doesn't turn out to be a Kamen Rider snipe. But yeah, I think the next episode will probably be like, I'm guessing we'll have him jump to the forefront since he's been stalking around a little bit for 2 episodes. And yeah, I don't think he'll be able to do that for too much longer. We've got to see some of him pretty soon, right?
Well, yeah, especially like they're doing a good job of the lore lore conclusion back and forth, especially in these 2 episodes already. Like, we're just getting answers right away.
We are, yeah.
So I feel like he's definitely a next episode answer kind of person.
I think so. And that was one of the things I loved so much about Geats was that they would set up things that feel like they're going to be long running mysteries, and then they would answer them, solve them the very next episode, and set up another mystery. And it feels like maybe this is going to do this too, where it's like, oh, who's this guy going to be? Who's this old guy? And you're like, oh, it's Kudo's dad. We're moving on quickly. Like, we know who that is. Um, that's a lot of fun for me when we get a lot of mini cliffhangers instead of like the long drawn out mysteries, which can get a little boring. So good job, Kamen Rider writers.
Killing it again.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for us for episode 2 here. Are you still vibing with the show? Still liking what we're seeing so far?
Still vibing with the show. I appreciate our little card collection at the end of the episode. Has 2 more cards filled in now, or at least 1 more card filled in. So we're slowly working our way to the 101. I think in general, especially because X8 is fresh, this is very X8 to me still. Of it's more just silly fun,
yeah,
than drama-ish. And I think I'm just here for the silly fun out of these things. I think it'd be my grand summary as of now.
Yeah, it definitely. I wonder if we'll ever see a tone shift a little bit in it. But yeah, for right now, it definitely feels much closer to X8, even even in look a little bit and stuff too, like we were talking about. So I'm down with that. I like both. I like the drama of Geats and the drama of like some of the other shows, but it's nice to have a fun little palate cleanser too. So both can exist. All right. As we mentioned earlier, if you want to send us an email, send those into cast@commonwritersucks.com. Again, thank you for the emails from Olivia and Shade. You guys are awesome. If you would like to join our Discord and get a whole bunch of bonus content from Toby and I, including extra ramble podcasts where we talk about all kinds of non-Kamen Rider stuff, and Watch and Reacts where we watch old Kamen Rider seasons together, and you can hear our thoughts on them live as we're watching. You can join our Patreon for just $3 a month. You can get access to all of that bonus content, and with lots and lots more on the way. So that's going to do it for us for this week. Toby, where can the people find you?
On Twitter, it's at Life of Tobes, and on YouTube, it's Tobes Plays.
I am on Twitter and Threads mainly for text posting. Threads added the ability to search on just words the other day. Didn't have that before, so I searched Kamen Rider and I followed anyone who'd ever said anything about Kamen Rider on Threads. So
that's genius.
Your boy over here is going to become the Kamen Rider czar of Threads. There was like 5 people. Threads is not really the source of Kamen Rider discussion, but damn it, we can make it one.
It's gonna flourish sometime.
At Pretty Decent Josh in those places. And of course, subscribe here on YouTube if that's where you're currently watching this. The channel is called Pretty Decent. All right, folks, thanks again very much for listening to our episode 2 discussion here. We'll be back next time for episode 3. But until then, have a great week, everybody. Peace.